course I made it. As my wife says, I'm turning into an old man. You know, I got I got my whoa, simmer down.
We are old.
I got my fig trees in the back.
Look at this guy.
I'm cured my meats now, and yeah, it's a good life.
See the chickens?
You have no weeds in your lawn, and you can identify birds.
No, I haven't got into that yet. Birding, I don't get that.
That might be your next decade.
Maybe,
Bird
but
watching?
like right now, I don't get it. Right? You know, it's I don't even know how it works. So, is it scoring? Like you see a blue jay, and then you're like, oh, that's like 10 points. Like I don't know.
No,
like,
do you just like observe, like with good like lenses? Is that how it
You
works?
could do that, or you just know your birds that are your bird feeder in the backyard.
See, I'm a hunter, so if
yeah.
I saw a bird, I want to be like, you know.
Are you a what do you call it?
that.
Birder?
Bird watcher?
I'm a birder. You're a bird.
birder.
You're a bird.
Are you into that?
No.
Sounds like you know a little
I
bit
know
about
birds
it.
at the
Sounds
bird
like you know a bit
feeder.
about it. Do you?
I got a bird feeder, yeah.
And you can identify the birds?
A handful.
When
A
you
handful.
take out
pretty
your
good.
dog,
But I'm not
Let's
bringing
see,
my
like-
binoculars to go anywhere to look at birds.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That's
One day.
not- that's not gonna happen. No.
I don't know.
when you go out
We
with
have
your
different interests. That's for sure.
when you go out with your dog, does he still point at all the birds?
Yeah, Roscoe. Yeah.
Or is he too old where he's just like, I just
He's
want
not
to
pointing at birds. He's pointing at like a rabbit,
rabbit?
squirrel.
Oh, so he's going after the big game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A big game.
So boys, summer.
Woohoo!
So what have you guys been keeping up with?
Not much. Still in school mode a little bit.
Yeah.
Next week I'll release some of that.
Yeah.
How about you guys?
Yeah, same. Like now that everything's kind of quiet, sometimes is when the air of grievances come, where it's like, yeah, I kind of dealt with this all year, but I don't want to say anything. But now that I've had the years over, I just wanted you to know. It's like
You got some grievances? Nice.
it would have not against me or anything.
No, just in
It's
general.
like in general, like
Yeah.
with how things ran or a certain staff conflict or student or whatever. Right now, everyone's idle and has some time to kind of reflect on the year, and it's sometimes I do have that conversation where I say like, well, it would have been helpful to know earlier. So we
course.
can act on it, but they're like, well, I didn't want you to act on it. And I'm like, okay, well then why are you telling me now? Like, it's kind of it's weird, right?
Staff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of hard to gauge. Like those conversations are kind of
Like
hard
not
to
this
gauge.
week. Like right at the end, you mean? Like last week?
No, like
This week?
this week,
Hey, man.
Yeah.
Summertime.
Monday morning.
Oh,
Boom! There it
come
is.
on.
Monday morning. There it is. Bam.
That's
right
when,
there.
like, in the past, you could put on your out of office reply and hell with it. But now,
Yeah.
we're working. So, like, I guess you got to respond,
No,
eh?
you can't. Yeah.
But they're not working. But hey, whatever.
No, it's a weird one though, right? Because it's to them, it's not important enough to mention at the moment, or they don't want action at the moment. But it's important enough to not say anything, right? Like to be known. So it's kind of a weird one, right? Like internally, I'm like, do I just sit on this, or do I actually
Still, it's
do something?
it's enough that it's still on their mind,
Yeah.
right?
Just so you know, for next year.
Yeah. Right.
So you got it in your mind? You can think about it all summer. Next year, you got an eye on it.
Yeah, I guess so. How about you, Matt?
Yeah, just slow down a little bit, getting couple little things from parents, I guess. Just how the year wrapped up and a couple of their child's courses, thinking about planning for next year. I think those are like the only things that kind of came at me. And just a little bit of time for reflection, I guess. And I don't like to keep too much space between the end of the year and having that reflection, because if I think about, how did that year go come August? And it's too far away, right? It's too long. It's too far in the distance for it to be valuable. So just taking some time to think about how the year went for myself. Yeah.
So you've been reflecting.
A little bit of reflection, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good.
Do you want to share anything, or is it just kind of like
No, I think
been
the two,
reflecting.
the two big. That's right.
a bit
Just in the
reflective
mirror.
how,
Just in the mirror.
how awesome I am and how
No,
you
I
crushed
think
it?
the two
I'll
big
talk
ones.
too much. I'm going to be quiet now.
Yeah.
The two big ones that I'm thinking about, when we talk to teachers, and I think through the TPA process, is two questions I thought about, like how to dig a little bit deeper and to help them a little bit is, how can I help you become a better teacher? I think that's one that I want to focus on a bit more next year. And how can I help you advance your career? Talk about what are their career goals. Again, just to make that process a little bit more meaningful. I feel like we see great stuff happen in our school, and there's so many excellent educators, and the lessons that I see, I know they're authentic just because of how students respond, and you can just tell when it's a one-off versus when it's part of the classroom routine.
Right.
But again, how do I go beyond that and saying you did all these things really well, but I really want to help them in their career, and I want teachers start to think about, hey, what is it that I want to get out of my career as an educator? Because they're all very impactful on students' lives and lives of families. But I just want to take it to the next level a little bit.
Sorry, so did you say that you do ask them that, or that
I want to? Yeah, those are the two things that I want to focus on. Just in that process specifically, that's something that I've been thinking about. That's my small reflection right now.
Yeah. I find that when I do a TPA, a lot of the feedback I'm giving them is kind of the same. Yeah, right? Like it's new teachers, and it's a characteristic of a brand new teacher. Like you're new in your career, so it's the typical coaching strategies are going to be the talk moves or questioning or accountable talk, and then it's also having the classroom student centered, where it's not the teacher who's like the giver of knowledge, because they have something that's far more powerful in their pocket, i.e. a cell phone or Chromebook or whatever. So a teacher's role has actually shifted to a coach or the facilitator of conversation. So I find that that's a lot of the feedback I'm giving new teachers. When I'm doing TPAs for veteran teachers, right, I find challenge in how I could provide opportunity for PD or learning, because a lot of them have been in education far longer than I have, right? So they're kind of looking at you like, hey, I've been here for a while. What do you know? But I do find that sometimes as school leaders, we can get bogged down from a day-to-day and just go through the motions with the TPA. But really, the TPA is crucial. Like that's where we can really make change in your school and empower teachers and to have them try something new or refine their craft a bit. And sometimes with everything else going on, we just don't have the time, right? I'm saying that as I'm reflecting on your question of how can I help you develop? Well, I don't play devil's advocate here. That's just adding one more thing onto your plate. Can you actually support that, right? Can you actually sustain that with everything else going on?
It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to do. Along that same line, I had the good fortune of running into a retired superintendent. They were dropping off some student records for us because they're covering as a principal one of our schools right now. And it was like honestly, maybe a 1 minute long interaction, just by chance, and they were explaining how much the job has changed in their time.
Wow.
And going back into a school as principal in that role, just how, I think they probably haven't done that role 10 years, maybe more. Mm-hmm. And just how different it is. And the biggest, I asked, like, what's the biggest difference? And it really is about understanding people's underlying motivations, their interests, their capacity, really people-oriented in terms of staff, and knowing where the staff are at and having a real beat on that. Whereas in the past, it really wasn't like that. More so just here's the program, follow the program. If you don't follow the program, get with the program. Yeah. Where now it's about understanding people's emotions, managing emotions. People are easier to fly off the handle. People are more opinionated or willing to share those opinions than they had been in the past. Yeah. And it really is a people business and a people endeavor, not just with staff, but with students and with parents alike. So I thought that was a really interesting reflection from that person. And it does resonate with me because I feel like that's a lot of what we do is now it's a lot of coaching and maybe something you didn't think about before getting into it. And just maybe speaks to where people are at too. But you're talking about being a mentor, being a coach, providing that opportunity during the TPA to get to know someone better and what their goals are and what their drivers are. That's a great time to do it. Mm-hmm. But I found it fascinating that that was their reflection coming back into a school setting. Yeah, that's what's changed.
I do feel like we spend, and again, I don't have that context, but I do feel like we do spend a lot of time on that and supporting staff and where they're at, and families and where they're at too. Like I feel like, well, again, I don't have the context, but I feel like in the past, maybe when we were in high school, when we were teachers, it would have been, hey, just go and do this thing. And you would just gone, and you would have done it.
That's right.
Yeah. And I just feel like there's more of an explanation needed. You need to share the why behind things, and you need to show like why it's valuable for educators to spend their time on a certain initiative, and you have to do a good job of selling that too.
I think and show that's why. Awesome. I think that's also characteristic of the times where when we got into the role that there was zero. I'm doing a big zero with my hands right now. Jobs in education. So yeah, it was basically they told us and we did it. Now with the plethora of jobs out there.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing because I think you're forced to get the buy-in too. I think which is a better approach
to see the why, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Rather than bring something to your staff and just say, you all must do this because I'm telling you to do it that way.
It's
And
hard though.
I
Like,
feel
with
like
our-
that's not where you're going to lead people.
You guys sound like rock stars right now because I just struggle. You know, like I operate like how help me feel better, or you're probably going to make me feel worse here.
Well, hold on a second. You feel like we're sitting here and we're nailing it? On
You
this
guys
side?
are,
Just
yeah.
throwing ideas
like,
around.
No, because I'm like with supporting. So here's what I do, and tell me what you guys think here. So a brand new teacher, 100%. I'm doing sharing resources. I'm connecting them to PD. I'm supporting them I'm checking in with them more often, etc. Because they're new in their career and their crafts, right? And they don't have those relationships established within the buildings with peers or mentors, etc. A more veteran teacher, I'm relying on program heads. I'm relying on the other leadership that's in our school. So I guess my investments are in the new teachers and on who's sitting at our leadership table, i.e. program council, because I'm then going to leverage them to also carry the instruction forward, right? It sounds like you're doing like everybody. And I just can't imagine that. Like that's
a good point, because on scale, that's it sounds good in theory, but it's really hard to do, to give people equal time. But during the TPA process, that is your chance, where there is some time. But on top of that, there are people that will still come to you, Matt, to ask about this or that are not the program head or whatever at a secondary setting, and you're giving your time to that too.
Right.
And to Delmar's point, actually, we had this reflection the other day. We talked about needing the program heads to be that person for the majority of people. And sure, we will, like, I'm never going to close my door to someone that wants to
100%.
talk.
No.
But we need to build the capacity of those people in leadership roles to help them be the coach that they can be. And they actually have a better seat to do it. And we know that from all having been in that role. That is the best seat to make change and actually probably have some very candid conversations that can move people forward, I think.
Yeah, and I guess for some context too, like our school, Jordan, we're over 100 teachers, just teachers, right? So to your point, it's hard to have that time for all 100,
Yeah.
right? But the TPA process, I do believe, is a good starting point.
Yeah. But sometimes the other elements of the job do get in the way.
Big time.
Okay, so that's my end of year reflection. What about you guys?
Giving the silent nod at each other.
We're really sounding out at each other. You go first.
Okay,
Jordan.
I'll give one. And it's, I just had this reflection today, so bear with me. So I'm doing some coursework right now, and it's we did this predictive index thing that we have all done in terms of like a kind of our profile, our management profile.
Do you know what you are? Or?
Yeah. And I scored the same thing. I think I've done it 3 times.
I was just going to ask.
I scored the same thing 3 times over 8 years.
Stubborn guy.
Individualist. Some things are good, some things are not good. But what was interesting about that, it talks about like our drivers, our motivations. And we talked a bit about in this coursework regarding like our mental health and our sustainability in the roles that we're in. I could say it could translate to senior manager, it could translate to principalship, it could translate to teachers. And just knowing who we are and where we get our energy was a big part of what we talked about today and how we can sustain that. Because when you're starting to grow as a leader, you're taking on things that are outside of your wheelhouse because you know you need to. Like, I got to expand in that area. I need to know that. That takes energy for some people. Definitely did for me. And knowing where you get energy and where you can, what things are in your wheelhouse, that it's not as hard to like do. But there's some things that during your course of your day that just take more out of you because it's not innate to who you are.
No.
Like having, maybe for some people it's like having a hard conversation. That is hard for them. That takes a lot of energy. Some people that's their wheelhouse, right? So the idea in the coursework we did today was like, how do you counterbalance that? Because no matter who you are, there's some things that are out of your wheelhouse. So how do you manage it so that you don't kind of like burn yourself out? And then what do you need when you are away from work to help replenish what you had to do or how you had to act in certain situations at work? Because there's no way we are all so integrated that we just flow. Like there's times of the day in the year where we're acting. Like I know sometimes I'm acting in my role that I'm in.
Yeah.
Might not be how I feel, but I have to deliver this message in this way. But that's not my nature. That might not be what I say like Jordan on the street, but
Poker face, Jordan.
you have to, but you have to do it.
Yeah.
And that takes energy, right? So
Right.
The question is, how do you sustain that? And what do you do when you leave work to get back to like, who you really are? So that was a thought-provoking question I had today that I'm still kind of kicking around. But when it comes to like introversion and extroversion scale, I would say for myself, I need time. I need time alone. And I think some teachers might struggle with that too if they're on more leaning towards introversion and they're all day in front of people.
Yeah.
They come home, they're wiped, right?
Yeah.
So, and everybody's different. I don't know if you guys are wired that way, but I find since I've done so much learning in the last 6 years, I feel like I've stretched a lot And I think I need to be mindful of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where
You're
you
like an
are
extroverted introvert.
Yeah, like and that's exactly who I am, and it sounds like that's who you are.
Yeah.
Where it's like everyone sees you out there, and you're outgoing, and you're talking to everyone, you're working the room, but then I'll disappear for 10 minutes, and like,
right.
where'd the hammer go? And it's like because I just need that 10
right.
minutes, go outside, that breather, like. And that happens when you're in situations where you are being stretched, either socially or if you've been doing a lot at work and
So part of that reflection, you just made me think of it now, is not just about for ourselves, because that's going to help sustain us, but recognizing that when we're asking other people to stretch, like, then it could also lead to burnout too, right? Because they're doing things out of their wheelhouse, they're trying something new. So supporting people in those, taking those steps is, has implications for that too, right? Because sometimes people really take on a lot.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm going to do this. Like they look at their plans and like, I'm going to do this, this year. You're like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
If you try, go ahead, but that's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
Thought I'd kick around.
Okay, so I gotta be honest, guys. I'm kind of struggling a bit because I've been doing this role for about 10 years now, and I get asked a lot of times, like, when are you gonna go into the principal role? And for the longest time, I have a desire to do it. And then lately, more and more, I've been thinking about it more. But then I get that thought of, like, do I really want to do this? Because I have it good right now. Like, I'm close by to where I worked. Great community. I'm connecting well with the teachers. Well, I think so anyways. I guess I'll have to ask them. But that question seems to be coming up more and more. I've never really had to consider it as much as I have been considering lately. Struggling a bit, right? Because you're having so much fun in what you're doing now. And then you're like, do I really want to like give this up? Like, how different is the VP role to the P role?
I think it's just how you carry things. I think you just absorb it all. Where I think
you absorb it all as a P.
As a principal. I think in the VP role, you absorb the things that you particularly deal with, and they hurt too.
Yeah.
Like if you drop the ball on something, you feel it like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that. I did that or did this or that was on me.
Yeah.
But
at the end of the day, you have a boss, so it's like, hey, Jordan, I screwed up. Tag, you're it.
And as the principal, I think if one of your VPs is feeling that way, then you as the principal also feeling that way, even though you had nothing to do with the situation. So there's the balls that I drop myself, and there's the balls that other people drop or they're struggling, and I feel their struggle too.
And you do have a very different job too.
It's a different job. Yeah, it is definitely a different job, but I think it's super rewarding.
Yeah.
You're gonna be great. You're gonna do it. It's gonna be awesome, buddy. Just boom, boom, boom. Good thing it's not a video.
There's the
podcast,
sound effects. There it is.
Leave that to your imagination.
Yeah.
But
no, I've been thinking about it a lot. Like it's like I just been weighing on me a bit more. Where I have it good right now, and it's close to home, and in our roles they move us around a lot, and I feel like I'm really enjoying this right now. Normally, a normal person would be like, "No, I'm having too much fun right now, and it's going well. So why change it, right?" But then the other side of me, and it's part of all of us here as leadership, is that we always want to grow and we want to develop. And
so it sounds like you have an itch.
Sounds
like you got the itch.
I have an itch, but then I'm like, why do I have an itch? Like, why? Well, like, it's good right now.
You gotta lean into that. Yeah.
It's good right now.
I think that you've been doing it for a long time, and I don't think I didn't take as much time to discern. I just kept going, and I think I was maybe in a mindset of addicted to the stretch. I just kept going, right? And when you catch your breath, you're like, is that a good idea? So far, it's an okay idea, but it is a lot. It is a lot to take on, and I think it comes in waves and it hits you at different times, and it could be going really good, and then all of a sudden, boom, something comes up, and you're like, oh goodness, like this is a big deal, and it's my name's attached to it, and it reflects poorly on me if it goes sideways. Yeah, so it's just I think it's how you carry the responsibility, I guess. Yeah. But the actual job and the hours, I think it's very similar. Very similar. It's just the responsibility of now I'm actually responsible for anything that goes sideways here.
I think back to when I was in the classroom as a math head, and Anderton and I were in the office throwing a tennis ball around while we come up with awesome ideas and things to try new, and it was fun. Like I kind of have that feeling that I did then to what I do now, where I'm like, I'm in a great spot, it's fun, I'm enjoying it. Why am I going to go to be a VP? And then it was kind of like...
But sometimes you just feel like there's something missing, right? There's something more.
Yeah.
And you're looking for something more.
And you might think if you don't uncover that opportunity that you might regret it. I always fear regretting things. Yeah. Maybe that's what keeps pushing me along. But I had principals that I worked for that said the vice principal role is the most fun they ever had. Mm-hmm. And then it's like kind of like when someone says, "Don't touch the hot stove." I get excited by that. I'm just like, "Are you sure?" Let me
How
check.
close can I
How
get
close
to
can
it?
I get? Yeah. So I think that's just maybe the way I'm hardwired. But you have a great place to be to make a lot of impact. And again, I think that role is different again. And like the program head has a nice way to, in a secondary setting, to enact change. But so does the vice principal. Like they really, really do. And the principal sometimes has to have like the last like hard conversation too. Sometimes when it gets to like a certain level, and then for the principal, you're thinking like, I need to stop this before it gets to the next person. Because if it gets to the next person in the chain of command, like then I feel like I didn't do my job. So there's some pressure there when it gets to you again.
Right.
So it hasn't been handled by teacher. Maybe it hasn't been handled by vice principal. Now it's coming to that desk, and you're going, I better squash this because I don't want it to go any further, right? So there's just that a bit added pressure, but it's a challenge that you love challenges.
Yeah.
It's great, just a different challenge.
I love challenges.
Yeah, that's it, buddy. Touch that stove.
Why did you go into it, Matt? You had a great job, consultant, right? Like, what gave you...
Cushy. Sorry.
Gesundheit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because again, I think schools are where it's at, right? You want to be close to staff and students, and I feel like you can really make a difference in the lives of kids. Period.
Yeah.
In that role, and actually, the more I get into it, make a difference in the lives of staff and the careers of people, and I think that you can do a real service to them if you're there supporting them. They know that you're in the trenches with them, working with them, and they're feeling supported. And not to say that you're there and just agreeable. I don't think that our teachers respect people who are just agreeing with them and not pushing them. I feel like they respect us more when we challenge them a little bit, right? And get them out of their comfort zone. I think that's when they value you even more. They might not like it at the time, but when you ask them the tough questions and challenge their thinking a little bit, I think that they respect you more, and I think you see that you help their career, because to not push them, actually, it hurts them in the long run.
It's a good reflection. I think the thing that, well, if I'm going to be talking kindly about you, is your ability to keep people in a coachable stance. You've done a good job building relationships so people will take your advice, at least. One of the things that came up in the course as well was talking about solving problems at like the lowest level possible, because the further it gets up the chain, the more complex it gets and convoluted and time consuming and all these things. So empowering teachers to solve their own problems. And I've seen you do that, and I've seen you say, okay, well,
That's a good point.
and coaching them how to do it.
Yeah.
And you don't always want to get too muddy in that water, because you don't want to be like part of the solution.
Right.
But to
Tell me what to do, right?
Yeah, challenge them to think, well, why don't you try write an email like this, or why don't you try, and like being that kind of coach to inspire them to do it. And then when they've handled it, they'll feel like, I guess next time I can do that.
You've empowered them a little bit.
You've empowered them.
And I think, to be honest, in my first year last year, I think I became the help desk a little too much.
Yeah.
Where they came to me, like certain people, too often to solve each problem that they
You
had.
don't have all the answers. Like,
No.
you're just
No,
going
and you're
at
just
it.
trying things
Yeah.
anyway, but then you become the middle man
Yeah.
in a way, and that's not a good spot to be in. That's really uncomfortable to be in.
Yeah, and
right?
it's not helpful to anyone, really.
And that's not helpful. So getting out of that a little bit more this year, part of the learning in the role, was way more useful for that teacher. And now they can hopefully solve the next one, or have some of the tools to get a little bit further down the road even, right?
Yeah, I think the savior stance is like you're trying to just fix the situation for them, which I did. I was guilty of doing that a little bit early on. And then the next opposite of that is like, just tell them to go take care of it. Like, that's not for me.
Yeah.
That's the complete opposite.
Yeah, it
and then,
doesn't help either.
And then
No.
there's the middle ground of like, okay, you want to talk about this? Like, here's the strategy. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I'm reading. Because what you've done is like break down like a parent perspective versus a teacher perspective on a situation, and you've actually probably brought them closer to understanding where the parent's coming from. And before, they were just entrenched in their ideas, and you maybe brought the teacher closer to understanding an alternative perspective. In which case, now they're gonna have a different angle when they go towards the kid or the parent. So that's huge learning, I think, and it's not easy to do. That takes time, also.
It takes time.
Yeah. I think back in the day, they'd just be like, "Take care of that." Mm-hmm. That was the strat. Like,
Yeah.
this retired superintendent that came back, she would say that's what they would used to do. Just, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Now, and then when it gets bad, I'll take care of it. Like, then it gets to me. Go take care of it. Now it's a lot more coaching, a lot more people management.
When I was in the VP role, and Matt was the program head of math, and I was coaching him in his leadership.
I was just going to say the same
what
story.
What was my my coaching to you, Matt?
Just do your job. Or
believe
it might have had something else in there.
I believe there's an F-bomb in there.
That's right. It was like, hey, just do your job. And I think, to be honest, though, that worked for me. That doesn't mean that that's bad advice. I think that just means like, hey, go take care of business. Like, you got this. Like, you worked with me for a long time. So it wasn't like you're just throwing me out there. And it's not like you had a closed door either.
Yeah.
Right? But in a way, you know, like that's just what I needed to hear at that time. Right?
You got this. I trust you.
Yeah, just go do your job.
Go do it. Yeah. So now I'm going to ask one more question. Thinking back on the year, because we're talking about year-end reflections, and what's one thing that really stood out? So it could either be a story, a funny event, a sad event, or something that's unsettled right now that you're like, I didn't really handle that well, or I got to do a better job of X. Like, what's one thing that stood out?
That one?
I can go. Yeah.
You ready to go already?
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Because I think I thought about this a little bit.
You thought about it. Okay, so
Yeah,
this guy's been reflecting.
Doing a little bit of reflecting this week.
good.
Okay, it's important.
Prepare. So
Again,
what's
it's
one thing?
important.
I think I'm going to tell
Not that much
story
working, but
of mine.
reflecting. That's good.
I think, honestly, the biggest thing is that I feel like the team at our school, the 4 administrators, we had a good year. I think that we work well together, and I think we also had fun, and I feel like other people saw that, and that actually resonated with staff. Some people came and talked to me about that at the end of the last day of school. They noticed that the 4 of us seemed to work well together, that we had a good time, and they felt like that spread throughout the school in such a way that it helped people. And I like when I think about that, I think like we did have a good time. We went through some tough times at our school this year, but the 4 of us work well together. And the days where you're in office late and we're just hanging out, whether it's reflecting on the day or trying to solve a problem or just laughing about like a situation, like it'll be a year to remember because of the way we work together.
It's great reflection.
Yeah,
That's great.
it was.
Do I agree with that?
This guy's like, no chance.
No, I agree. That was fantastic.
Yeah.
I'll definitely look back on that one like really fondly. Definitely there was great cohesion. My reflection, my first thought when you asked that question was, what positive results have we seen in terms of like our leadership approach? And I'm not going to say about me, but as a team, I would say, one thing I noticed, and I pulled it up the other day, is looking at our suspension rates. And like last year, we had a lot more than this year. We had less this year. And you can look at data any way you want. But
Soft on crime?
Yep. That's
All right, guys are against soft on crime?
That's one way to look at it.
How it is?
The other way is we did make some like key changes to our schedule that helped solve that off. Some of the ministry mandates might have helped mitigate some of that as well. That's an external factor that helped us maybe maintain a safer school. I thought we had some pretty good student leadership that helped people feel safe in the school. They knew where to go. But then I also feel like having had our team sort of roll over, most of us, year over year, we had some pretty good relationships with some kids that were tough kids. And there was some trust that was built between families and some of our kids that had repeated incidents in the past. And, we didn't have, and I'm speaking from the principal seat, considering how many students we had, there wasn't all that much pushback on anything that we put out there because there was some trust that had been built over a few years with some of our harder clientele. So that is very positive for a school where, people weren't, like, they're not trying to, challenge us every time we make a decision because they trust our judgment. And that's because we built relationship. And that takes time. And I know that you've spent a lot of time on it. Our other 2 team members and myself have spent a lot of time on that. And I think that we've done a good. I'm really proud of that. That is part of it. What made the difference in my mind. Like staff also are the contributing factor to them feeling safe. Like it's a big deal. We have so many staff that kids feel it's really easy for them to go to certain staff. Most staff actually, but they're just caring adults that are there, show up every day. And that mitigates so many issues. Like it's not even measurable what that can mitigate, or the relationship you have with this kid or that family. That like you're literally mitigating issues constantly because of that relationship you built, which is amazing.
Yeah. The Cole's quotes of mine is trusting kids, because you can easily get into this role and not trusting kids and just thinking that kids are out to cover their butts. And I did find that this year that there was more of the students that you would have more conversations with in terms of behavior and in terms of conduct. And I did find that they were very helpful in a lot of situations. They're like, yeah, this isn't cool, or we really gotta do something about this, right? So just having that mindset for the upcoming year, like, kids are awesome. Trust kids. They're good, right? So
Absolutely. Think about the one story about not trusting people.
What are you talking
When you brought up not trusting,
well, now I gotta share it.
the fake drug bust. That's
Can
a
we
good
share-
one.
That's a good story.
It
Can
might
we
be
share
on
that one, or
might
am I
be on
gonna
the
edit that
B-side.
out?
No, that's in the that's
the
we gotta
retirement
wait, we gotta
reels.
wait 5 years.
Okay.
To
Really?
tell that story.
No, that's a safe story.
We'll have to
No,
do
it's
So safe he's not going to tell it.
We'll have to do an episode where we actually tell stories of The Office, right?
Okay.
Stories of The Office.
That's
What's the retention on that? 3 years? We got
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 3 years.
That's a good one.
That's good. Any vibe checks or?
Yeah, I got a vibe check for you.
I got a vibe check.
It's just general. Hold on, let's see.
General.
General topics here. Let me see. It's like, do you prefer? Okay. Do you prefer September energy or June survival mode?
Oh, September energy. Let's go. Bring on the year.
September energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
June?
Concur.
Yeah.
September energy is
Yeah.
June
Yeah.
survival mode is something
June,
serious.
we're tired. We're tired in June.
Someone made a comment to me about they'd just come to secondary and they said like June is something crazy in secondary. They thought it was crazy in elementary because all the fun that they do at the end and report cards are done. But they were mentioning like, man, June in like secondary is like wildfire.
Yep.
There's convocation. There's getting the grades in. There's graduation. It's like
Yeah.
nuts.
Yeah.
Not to mention all the retirements, parties, and that sort of stuff.
A lot going on.
A lot going on. Okay. Would you rather professional development days be collaborative or self-directed?
It depends. That's a good one. I would say definitely self-directed, but collaborative at the same time. Can I do that?
Super committal.
Can I do that? Like, well, they're both good, man.
Okay,
Like,
you're
they're
in the
both-
middle. I'm gonna say
Oh
self-directed.
my god.
Okay, if we're
that's
talking
hard.
about my own PD, like how I want
okay.
to see PD, I
Yeah.
want self-directed. But yeah, it's just me.
I would say collaborative.
I'm gonna
For
say-
my own, I would say collaborative because I learn more in conversation with.
Well, I
others.
want you to be told what to do, but I want you to do it with people.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll stay on the island by myself. I like this one. Staff room talk. Is it essential bonding or is it dangerous waters?
Dangerous waters.
Yeah.
I say it depends on the talk, like type of talk. If it's just like general
If it's about
commiserating about like
students,
some
yeah.
job duties and stuff like that,
Yeah,
like
yeah, that's
like
good.
us talking about our summer work obligations.
Yeah.
That's like I think that's bonding, essential bonding.
100%.
Not quite dangerous waters, but I think it can cross a line into dangerous
Well-
waters very quickly.
Yeah.
If you start talking specifically about kids,
That's
I think
right.
That's negative.
Yeah.
Okay. Team meetings, 7:30 a.m. or 4 p.m. Before the day or end of the day.
7:30 a.m.
7:30 a.m.
Yeah.
We never do it then, but I would also agree that'd be way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right before the
Yeah.
day, boom,
Yeah.
we get going.
It's kind of hectic, but once you're there, you're
You're in.
You're like,
You're
let's
there.
go.
You're ready to go, and
Yeah.
then yeah,
Okay. Let's see. Sorry.
do that one.
Okay. Would you rather staff potluck or catered lunch?
We all know it's a catered lunch. Come on.
I like the potlucks.
Come on.
I like the potlucks.
Okay, I'll give one more.
I'll show up with like Costco hot dogs.
Definitely catered
Right.
lunch. Oh god.
So that's the best. I showed up to one party where I signed up for Costco hot dogs, and everyone was like, "Are you actually serious?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm gonna Costco hot dogs." So I went to Costco and I ordered 30 hot dogs, and the lady that helped me out at the desk, she was like, "Do you want like 30 drinks?" Because it's $1.50 for the hot dog and the drink, right? So I'm like, "No, I just want the hot dogs."
Hilarious.
I'll tell you what though, out of everything,
Catered lunch, man.
every hot dog went. Everyone crushed the hot dogs. So just saying, people don't seem to care about
Yeah.
Costco hot dogs, eh?
No, you want to do potluck. And I don't know. That's risky.
It's risky.
What if someone brings like,
What?
forget it.
What?
Those meatballs. Everyone brings the meatballs and
Yeah,
the
like
slow
the-
cooker.
Crock-pot meatballs?
I don't know, man. How long they been sitting there?
No
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sorry.
There's some people that fear
I
the
guess we
potluck.
all
I know
know
that.
how high rollers you guys are in your community, eh?
Catered lunch. Okay, lunch supervision. Is it the best chance to connect or a dreaded duty?
I always ask for outside supervision as a teacher. because number one, love being out of the building, get some fresh air. But then, yeah, talking to the students as they're out walking around, I thought it was the best 20 minutes spent of the day.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Agreed. Great time to connect. Okay, last one. For staff learning, do you prefer book clubs or podcasts?
Podcast.
Well, I have to say a podcast.
Yeah, podcasts.
Yeah.
Nice one, Jordan.
Yeah, that was a good one, eh?
It's a good, great finale. It's like one of
Yeah,
those,
we were
oh.
during our course I was in today. The instructor was talking about the podcast I listened to, and I was holding my breath. They didn't mention ours, but that's okay.
But you
Did
gave
she
a
do
plug
some
for us
background research
anyway.
on it? She's like, don't listen to that. That's the reputational risk to yourself. And I know it's good, but yeah, podcast. I'm with you guys. All right,
All right.
wrap.
That's a wrap.
That was Joe Rogan territory. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of School Leader Vibes. We're incredibly grateful for your time and your contribution to shaping the future, one student at a time. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to connect with us on Instagram at School Leader Vibes for more inspiration. Lastly, please share the podcast with fellow leaders and educators who might benefit from these conversations. Until next time, keep vibing.